So there's the postman, and I think I know what he just left. So let me flip this camera and we're gonna go have a look. This is something I've been waiting for a while. Well, just it was sent to me over the Christmas period, and Irish Post being Irish Post, it took about 2 weeks, I'd say, to arrive, close to that. Anyway, let's go have a look. Dude, that's enough. Dude and the postman know each other well. All right. I mean, I know what this is already. So if you've seen the title of the video, you already know what this is. Oh, this is actually really well packed. Oh my. Oh, that is really cool. This is lovely, actually. A little keychain. God, I should do that with my repros as well. Right. Oh my God. I feel like I should have one of those angel sounds coming out. This is the Smarty Pie by Smarty. This is essentially a drop-in replacement, Pi-based drop-in replacement for an Outrun board. This will plug in straight into your cabinet using the existing connectors and replace those expensive Outrun boards. So this can run a number of things. It can run the straight Outrun from MAME using this Pi 4. It can also run the CannonBall port, which is a port that was done, very, very good port, that runs at 60 FPS with a lot of extra bells and whistles. And really that's, I mean, if you have the option, that's actually the thing you want to run in your cab, because it just adds so much more than the standard version as well. And the 60 frame per second being one of them. Technically, you can also run stuff like Turbo Outrun, Power Drift, and Euro Racer, and Anghon, Space Harrier, Thunderblade. Some of them will require, or do require, an adapter that actually will sit here and provide just different connectors. Or you could technically just make a custom add a connector or adapter for it. But this as is will plug into an Outrun cabinet, and I think at least play Outrun, Turbo Outrun, and Power Drift. So there's only one thing to do now is to test this. And oh my God, am I excited about this. This is huge. Like, this is massive for a lot of collectors. We've been waiting for something like that because Outrun boards have gone crazy. So the reason I got this before we go in and plug it in is because of, well, let me grab it. Here it is. The reason I got this is because I did this recently. That was my Turbo Outrun setup running on a Pi 3 with the RGB Pi to JAMA adapter, so I can play that on CRT, and an APAC just to handle the controls. It's limited. It does. It works well for as far as display, sound, and basic controls. It doesn't have the outputs enabled, so the shaker motor or those flashing lights or things like that. This will do all that for you. This is a much better solution. When I posted this on the forum, this setup in my cab, I got a few messages from people asking me if I could do it for them if they provided the parts. And I said no, and I actually referred everybody to SmartyPi's solution, which is much more elegant, much nicer, much cleaner. And if I'm honest, I don't think it's going to be much more expensive than doing this type of setup. All right, so let's have maybe just a better look at this in the light before we plug it in. It's provided as well with a manual that he sent me for just starting things properly. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's really plug and play, but it's just reminders on, you know, voltage levels, and just make sure your 5 volt is bang on, what's in the SD cards and all that kind of stuff. So we got the Raspberry Pi 4 just doing the bulk of the work, and this is connected to an Arduino, which I suspect provides the controls. handling all the controls. The game is actually, or the games, I should say, because there's a few you can switch them, is handled via an SD card separately. So you don't need to touch this guy or take it, remove it out and risk corrupting your entire install. You can just use this SD card just to add or remove games if you want to do so. We've got connectors, so optional game switch, but that switching games can be handled with jumpers handled by different buttons. Let me focus here. It's not focusing, but either a service button or custom button. RGB, we've got an alternative RGB here as well, and I'm assuming is, if you want to set up a second monitor, maybe somewhere, for competition or something like that, or parties, have a second monitor to watch. That could be cool, actually. We've got our power. So Outrun is a dual stack board. So there's 2 power inputs. You only need one here because there's only one board to provide power to. So you'll have an extra connector that probably isn't used on your board, but that's okay. We've got here the audio. And I see there's a audio preamp or amp little type circuit. You can set the left and right independently. We've got our main connector really here and here, and these handle all the RGB stuff. Well, not the RGB, sorry, it's handled by this, but all the controls and all the buttons and all that kind of stuff. Got a few caps for just keeping the power steady and probably cleaning things off. I see this here is a little ULN 2003, something like that, and that's a Darlington transistor IC essentially. Usually they're used in audio circuits, but I suspect here it's for the I'll have to have a look, but it might go. I see a few traces here underneath, and it goes to pin 18, which is indeed the motor shaker. So I suspect this is what it handles. Usually it's used for push-pull sort of circuits for audio stuff, but so I suspect this is what it handles. And here I think these are optocouplers, probably respectively for this guy, or I see another chip which I suspect was another Arduino option. I'm not sure. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. So yeah, because there you go. Yeah, there's another little silk screen for that. So this is probably, you can probably have an option of Arduino setups, probably for upcoming games or something like that, but optocouplers for that. And that's really all it is. I mean, when I say all it is, it's a tidy, clever design. A few buttons here to access stuff: coin, start, service, test, turbo, gear, control, not sure what gear, gear, yeah, and reset button. So you can actually test that everything works right off the board before you put that in your cab if you want to. And really that's all there is. I think all we need to know now is plug this in and and start playing. But I really like the tidy design. There's a lot of kind of silk screen information, which is great. I love that. I love when people take the time to actually add a lot of info on the silk screen. You can you have test point as well for your ground and 5V, and just connection here if you want to, I don't know, do testing, I assume, for analog and digital controls, output signals. Yeah, that's actually a nice touch, because once it's plugged in, but you still want to maybe access stuff or do, I don't know, testing or have additional kind of bits in your cab, it's handy to have external or alternative outputs like the video here and like these guys. Really cool touch. And I see a few unpopulated stuff. So ideally, in time, and he's made a few already, but if you want to use like that setup in Afterburner, there is an adapter board that will sit here on top of this, and it will allow for the controls to be mapped to Afterburner, so it'll be a straight drop-in replacement again. Same thing, I think Turn the Blade, I think Hang On, and Dual Racers. I think G-Lock technically works in there, from what I could read. Anyway, let's talking too much. Let's go plug this in. All right, I have the Outrun cabinet pulled out. I've put the, took out the old board, or the original board that was in there. I had version Enhanced 202 on this guy, and I'm actually not sure exactly. I'm assuming there's all 3 games on this, and CannonBall. We'll see. There's the manual actually specifies just to check your voltages before you put the new board, and I did that, so it's set to bang on 5 volt. It should be nice and steady. So let's start this. Now my monitor, I should say, has some green, a bit too much green in it. So if it comes up, yeah, you can actually, maybe you can't, yeah, that should be a lot whiter. Anyway, it takes a while to boot. It actually takes not long at all, actually. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than that. And I'm assuming it boots into, is this CannonBall? I think that's the standard Outrun. CannonBall, the free play mode actually just goes into first person view on the car. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's just check a few things. I think the service button should switch game. Huh? Oh yes. This is CannonBall. It's actually a lot smoother. Frame rate. Oh yeah, you can actually very much tell the difference. This is amazing. It changes the angle as well, so you can do that. I'm not sure exactly in game how to change the angle, but there you go. It goes into first person view, which is actually really, really cool. It's a new way to experience Outrun, and I don't know if the new musics are in here. And actually, I don't know what version of Outrun is in there. Let's see what else is in there. Let's. So these were in free play. This is great. Like right to. I don't think this is free play. Credit 0. Yeah, I don't think this is free play. It's a problem for me. There's a problem with I don't have the mechs. I'll have to sort that out, I suppose. I might just do that today. But I don't think I can. Yeah, it doesn't credit. It doesn't start. The lamp is gone on this guy as well, so I'm not sure if that's working. It should be working anyway. But there you go. It plays Turbo Outrun, and it should have then Power Drift on the next. So every time you press the service button, there you go. Oh, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And I don't think there's free play on this either. That's okay. It's something I can actually do. I should be able to plug in a USB keyboard in there and set the MAME settings to free play, I think. I might try that afterwards. But yeah, that's so cool. There you go. Power Drift, Turbo Outrun, and the CannonBall port, which is really cool. Playing in 60 FPS is fantastic. So let's go back, cycle back, go to Outrun. So in the manual tells you on the game card. So there is 2 SD cards in here. This one contains the game and a setting file, and you can actually set which game the thing boots, the cab will boot into first. So you can set that to either Power Drift, Turbo Outrun, CannonBall, or Outrun, which is really, really handy. And right now, you know, I'm kind of happy with the Outrun port. Let's just see what version of the port it has. I'm just curious. Passing Breeze, Splash Wave. Sunset Rush, Cruising Line, the Camino a mi Amor. So this should be, I think, 202 then, of the ROM set. This is great. I'm actually happy that it boots straight to that. Let's just see what else. Does this guy? Oh yeah, no, this guy only has. Oh, interesting. When you shift your wheel, it actually doesn't tell you which tune. This is a bespoke version of CannonBall, so it could be a small oversight in it. And I don't think, there's only the three main tunes. But still, I mean, playing Outrun in, it's going to be awkward playing one hand, but look at this frame rate. I'm a stickler for original, but there's something cool about it. I wonder if there was a way to include the other three tunes that were in the enhanced version of the original ROM. Then I would make this cab boot straight into the enhanced version, or the CannonBall port. Sorry. All right, correction on the enhanced version. So when you turn the wheel like that, it doesn't necessarily change the name, but it seems that, yeah, if you hold it, or what if I don't do anything? Will it change on its own? No, I don't think it does. But if I, there you go, it changes. It's actually a lot more. Oh my god, there's so many tunes in this. Splash Wave, Radiation, Cruising Line, Camino Mi Amor,
ready?
Step on Beat. So there's Mega Drive versions of this as well, which is really cool. But it's actually a bit confusing. It's a bit confusing. You don't see the title right away when you turn the wheel. Doesn't matter. It works. It just I thought I'd demand that. I found this after essentially shooting this whole video. So, but there you go. So it works. It's just good to know how it works. This is really cool. I'm gonna change this to the enhanced or the CannonBall version to boot straight into CannonBall because it's perfect. Okay, I should make a couple of amendments. That tune selection with the CannonBall issue is something to do with the CannonBall port. It's behaving as it should. There's a reason for it. I'm not sure exactly which reason it is, but it's not an issue. It's not a bug. It's just the way the port behaves. All right, so I have a USB dongle into the Pi here. I have my keyboard here, and it should allow me to. Yeah, there you go. This machine. Is that it? Service 1, service no. Yeah, it's not like deep switches. Coin I, coin B. Now there should be a free play option, I think. Free play. And you need to set that onto coin B as well. Cockpit. Mini up. Cockpit conversion. No, I don't think it's cockpit. It should be moving. No, it should be in mini up. Demo sounds, yes. Use turbo shifter. Use start button. There you go. There you go. I need to press reset. So now in reset. Fantastic. Select transmission. Yeah, let's just manual, auto. Yeah, it's selected for me anyway. Now that was flashing. Yeah, my bulb is fine. It's actually okay. And the shaker is working. This is amazing. Okay, let's do the same for. Let's do the same for this guy for now. Now, as you could see, there's no, like the enhanced version of Outrun, or the versions that Outrun are on it. I have a fixed version of the free play mode. As you could see, free play mode goes straight into that select screen, which is an issue for cabs like this because it creates some burn, and you can actually see here best Outrunners like. This cab has this screen has some burn from just being stuck in free play for so long, and the enhanced version solved that. So Turbo Outrun doesn't have an enhanced version, not to that, or none. Would actually be great to have one, and I don't think Power Drift has one either. So let's just do the same here. It's the same thing. Upright, sit down. Demo sounds on. Continue, difficulty normal, reset. And now I think it's going to do the same as... No, okay. So I was testing and trying in the settings. One thing I've done, I've mapped the credit button to this button here. And what I've done then is I've set it to 2 credits to start. So if I press 1, it adds a credit, and if I press 2, it starts. So it's just a way not to add like credits every time you press. Like it just needs those 2 presses. But there you go. And that way it won't start. And I've done the same for Turbo Outrun. So that way it won't start right on the game menu or the start menu. It'll need 2 presses, and that's only because I'm too lazy to fix the buttons here. In your cab, if you have everything working, it should work fine. And I think it's done that way because the free play screen only goes like right into the select thing, and it'll burn your monitor if you're not careful. So 1, 2, there you go, it starts. So and I do actually like that option. I might just keep that because it's just a handy one, and my flasher is working, so that's good to know. But there you go. So I was talking to Smarty while I'm editing the video, and it seems there's might be a small issue with these high score saving. So if sometimes it might not save the game before you power off. However, if you switch games, it'll save then, and then you can power off. But it's something you need to check. Is not sure. It's not something I've experienced, but then again, I haven't really ran it to the point that I have a high score to save in the first place. I just tested it very briefly, as you've seen. So I might need to test that on my side and report back to him. The other thing is that because there is a shortage of components, he might not be able to supply all the builds with Pi 4s. So I would advise you to actually source your Pi 4 yourself first, and that way you'll be able to put that straight onto the board when you get it. It's just at the moment it wouldn't be quite feasible for him price-wise, quantity-wise, to source that amount. So he will probably do the next batch without the Pi board, but he'll supply the SD card and the heatsink and everything. You just need to find the Pi 4 yourself. And as far as release, he's aiming for February. He's pretty confident it'll be done sometime then. So these are a few amendments I wanted to make before I finish this video. Anyway, there's not much else I could show you. It's actually a fairly straightforward drop-in replacement. I know he's mentioned on the forum that he's adding extra legs, so it actually reaches out to over there. These weren't included in this. I might just make some, or I don't care. I'm just gonna drill a little hole here and just secure that PCB properly, and say goodbye to this guy. I'm gonna keep it just for collection's sake, but now it's great. I don't have to rely on an outdated piece of technology. Everything here is pretty much off the shelf and can be replaced in case it fails, which I doubt it will for a long time. This board has been fixed I think 3 times already. Once by Mark Hazen, and who's done a great job. I did a previous fix on it before, and there's a RAM issue now with the graphics not refreshing properly, so it's gonna have to get fixed again. And what am I saying? 3 times? Yes, I think I'd done another fix after Mark, because it crashed. So these things, they die, they crash, they need some repair, servicing constantly. It can be expensive. This is a great solution. So well done, Smarty and team, and thank you very much for your trust, for sending me this and in advance. Really much appreciated. And this is fantastic, and the fact that it supports the motor and the light inputs and outputs, it's just terrific. What a great piece of kit. Well done, and I hope it does well, judging by the interest that this board has and the coming waiting list. I'm sure it will do well. So thank you very much for making this on behalf of the community. And folks, keep an eye on the forum. I'll put the link up. This is where he said he would update and update people first, the UKVAC forum. So keep an eye on that, and you know all about it. You can actually set an alert whenever a new post is added. Folks, thank you for watching, and now I'm going to play some Outrun.